Come all young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow ye winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes.
I am so excited to introduce my really good friend, Maggie Bursch. Maggie is a Bristol Bay gill netter of all kinds, drift and set, joining us from her current home on Orcas Island. Grew up in Homer, Alaska, and I just love her, and I know you will too.
Thank you guys. It's great to be up here with some poems. And I'm just so glad to not be on a Zoom screen. And yeah, this is lovely. I wasn't planning on reading this poem, but I've been inspired tonight by a lot of the other readers, so I'm going to read it. From water. We differ, my friend and I, in what we look for in a boat. He wants performance, and I want a bunk for the nanny. He wants jets and step, and I want refrigerated seawater. We do not differ in what we fear, because we both fear failing. He doesn't tell me this, but I see it in his shoulders. Along with failure, I fear compromise. Is that what it means to be a woman? Compromise? Even a woman with her own boat, a woman tougher than the sea who wears men's clothes because of big shoulders. My mother was a woman like that, and I had a nanny. I don't believe that meant she was failing, but as a child, I had a fantasy that my mother was water, that I was born from the water, that I was raised on pirate ships and made no compromise. I'd pretend I sailed the ships in storms so big the masts were failing, perched on washed-up wooden old boats. Then I would hear a call from my nanny, jump off into the grass, my jacket slung over my shoulders. Now some days I feel the weight of a gender on my shoulders, when I am one of the only women on the water, and because in the winter I put away my boat to work as a nanny, my pride is tied up in its hull without a lot of room for compromise. My pride is tangled into every line on that boat, and I lie in bed at night thinking of what hydraulic hoses are closest to failing. I look to the women before me who face the fear of failing, and if I know anything, it is because I stand on their shoulders. I've listened to their legends or secrets or worked on her boat. Women who are mothers and have broken the water, who carry anchors and car seats, sharp knives and compromise. Do you give up the helm, bring the baby along, get a nanny? So there I am, looking for a boat with a bunk for the nanny, banking on a few more years without my birth control failing, bracing for the day I face compromise like a wet wind. The day I'll carry someone else on my shoulders as we head to the water or the boat. My friend crawls into a forecastle and I tell him that bunk is too small for his shoulders, but he says it has a good engine and it's worth the compromise. And I think of his mother, who gave up the sea to create him, to raise him from water. I'm really happy that my mom and sister are here in the audience today, and I've had a lot of changes in my relationship to commercial fishing in the past 3 years. Grad school, COVID, my partner's health challenges, and then also the opportunity to buy my mom's set net operation with my sister. So this poem is about returning to set netting in a way. The origin. Last week, my sister pulled a tarot card that was a salmon. It said she would be returning to her origins. Beach glass and baby dolls, pulling on long underwear and scooping down oatmeal in the dark. These memories are so old they form photographs. 2 little girls with tutus over their snowsuits on a four-wheeler. The bright red row filling my sister's hands. We didn't learn it all right away, and we don't know very much now. But we know how the tundra rolls, how to cook with what's left in the fridge at the end of the season, how to make tea when everything else feels like despair. We hadn't planned on returning, and I wonder if the salmon don't either, and it catches them off guard when they have too much going on and not enough saved yet. But there it is, a tug towards the origin. They follow, and their sisters do too. These next three poems are newer. So 2 years ago, it was actually FisherPoets was on Zoom, and my soon-to-be husband was in the hospital getting brain surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. And the past 2 years in our journey kind of through illness and back into health and what it looks like today, I made most sense of through my relationship with the experiences I've had, which were mostly, or a lot of fishing and water. And so the next three poems kind of tell that story for me, and I hope it does for you too, and kind of where we are and where we've been. This one's called Fleeting, the Diagnosis. Life as brief and frantic as a salmon run. Shorebirds turn in unison above the rusted cannery. The tundra swamp gives out beneath you. The mud doesn't let you go. That wave came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden there are decisions to make in warp time. Love like a sucking ebb, everything else racing by, the shoreline, that buoy, a boat. We search for something to hold on to. Cancer. Illness is the moon, wrenching us in and out, life, belief, disbelief, treatment, tranquility, gratitude, brutality. Nature was my first teacher. She beckoned me to the beaches, sunny and littered in salmon death. Everything is fleeting, she said, in the black suck of the mud, in the sand picked up by the wind, in the heartache, in the rot. Some future, the treatment. All the missing that fishing brought this love, and now time feels different. Sticky like canned peaches left through the freeze. Oncologist scans teach me to think of time in months, not seasons. October, November, stop. Have the shackles been hung? A question for the future. Will the four-wheeler start? Feels small when I still wake in the night at any of your movements. Sure, things have gotten worse. In a cloudy dream, we are there, though. It is July, and you are bright with salmon death, with mud and water and work. I watch and wonder as you fall for lines and knots, engines and current speeds. The boats pitch, the lines tug, the tide sucks. And in all that tension, I am calm. So my partner has been 2 years cancer-free, coming up here in a couple months. And this one's called Here and Alive, Remission, ? Or remission? I titled this like 2 hours ago, so. Okay, Here and Alive, Remission. The grass bends and turns, and you are sleeping, here and alive. The fish swim by, but our market is swamped or screwed up or incompetent. You make coffee and wrap your arms around me, here and alive. I feel anxious and frustrated, disappointed and annoyed. You whisper that you love me, here and alive. The wind started blowing last night, hard and snotty. We went out fishing and the market said stand down. Day 9 on limits. You are here and alive. You pull me out deeper in the waves. You tie up the boat. You hold my head gently in all this wind, here and alive. One day, maybe, the market will buy our fish again. One day maybe we will have babies who will be tousled by the wind, grow strong from the salmon, get tangled in our hearts. I dream it like I dreamed this summer, gentle and slow. I will write this and I will go to you, here and alive. Thank you guys so much for listening and being a part of my community here and beyond. Thank you.
Off the stern the water is churning. Lobster pots are dropped into the brine. At the wheel there stands a fine lady